What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah, pleasure to talk to you, man.
Yeah, man, you as well. I really appreciate you hitting me up, and yeah, I'm glad we could finally make it happen. Took a minute, had a little bit of a busy earlier part of the year in summer, but yeah, I'm stoked to be here, man. I love what you're
Mm,
doing, yeah, with the channel and everything. So,
Thank you so much. It means so much to me to hear that from one of my favorite drummers.
thanks, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
You were saying you had a very busy day today.
Oh, today
Busy
wasn't
time.
too crazy. Yeah, I just meant in
Uh-huh.
general with like when you first had hit me up. Today, my sleep schedule's been a little messed up as always, so I would like wake up like super late. Yeah, I was just going to the gym and kind of like basing my day around starting that way and then gonna try to practice tonight later after this. That's about all,
Hmm.
man. I like your setup back
Okay.
there, man. You got the nice
Oh,
E-kit
oh, that one.
logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know. That was actually the present from my wife. And you are from Long Island, right?
Yeah,
Are you?
yeah.
You were born and raised there, right? Is that
Yeah, from
correct?
Long Island. Have you been there?
Yeah, I am there like pretty much every summer. Right now, how's the weather there actually? Is it like very cold there or no?
It's starting to get cold. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's probably like 40, 50 degrees, but yeah, it's not terrible. It'll definitely get cold. I'm going to Montreal like the week after next weekend and it'll definitely gonna be colder up there. So,
Yeah, from what I know, you're gonna prep for the Beneath the Massacre show, right? Isn't it?
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drive up to Montreal next Sunday and then we're gonna start rehearsing for the week and do the show the following. It's just like a one-off but that'll be my last kind of thing, major thing for the year. But the prep's been a little crazy. Yeah, the songs are so hard, man. So I've just been trying to drill it as hard as I can, but it's tough, man. I gotta keep up with everyone else, you know.
Especially the last album, the Fearmonger. But we'll talk about it a little later. But
For sure.
I'm happy that it's gonna come to reality that you are. Is it the first time you're gonna play with the guys like live? Is it the
Yeah.
first, very,
uh,
very first time?
Yeah, it's my first show with them live, so yeah, I'm definitely nervous. It's intense, man, but I'm stoked. Yeah, I'm really happy to be a part of it, and
I'm
yeah.
stoked too. Are you gonna like record anything, any drum cams or anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna set up a bunch of cams and try to get some stuff. Hopefully I don't mess up too much and play too sloppy. I'll at least have some clips and stuff, but it's tough. Like I'm gonna set up the EAD 10 and like try to get a front of house mix, but yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I'm definitely gonna have some stuff to post, so yeah, I'm excited.
It's gonna be the whole hour of Beneath the Massacre stuff.
Yeah, it's
You,
maybe a little less, but yeah, like a full set. Yeah, like a direct support set, I guess, maybe 45 minutes. But I mean, yeah, it's a lot to play. Like we have breaks and stuff, but like even doing a record is like a whole full-length album was like maybe 30 minutes of music, 35. Sometimes
Mhm.
full albums are like 50 minutes, an hour. And for Beneath, that's a lot, half an hour, that's a full length because the songs are
Yeah, it
like,
is.
it's a lot condensed into one, shorter songs and can't do like the 6 minute Lorna Shore, like rippers, like stuff like that. It's crazy, man.
I'm sure you're gonna crush it, and we're gonna see the drum camps of that show for sure. But yeah,
Thanks, man.
Long Island. We're born and raised there. Actually, when I asked my wife, like maybe maybe she knows you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did she grow up
and
there in Long Island or just
yeah, she
family?
grew. Yeah, she grew up there, and I asked her like, "Do you know the guy named Anthony Barone?" And she's like, "No, I don't. Never heard this name, but that's a very Long Island name."
Really?
That's what she said.
That's
Whatever the fuck
funny.
it means, but yeah, that's a
Anthony
very
Barone. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll take it. I'll
Okay,
take it.
okay.
That's funny,
That's
man. Yeah.
what is your typical schedule? How does it go?
Yeah, man, honestly, right now, I've just been like training a lot, going to the gym and playing at night, practicing drums. But right now, I'm in like Beneath the Massacre mode and trying to focus on just like hey, finish the year like as strong as I can with the show and be in the best shape I can, physically, playing, mentally, everything. So really, I've just been like revolving my day around waking up, training, making sure I go to the gym, and then come home, go to my practice space to rehearse, and then just playing drums, running the Beneath set basically, and working on. I'm trying to clean up like the doubles, and double bass is so hard, man. Like for me, that's the hardest part about the
The
Beneath
doubles?
stuff. Yeah, it's so tough. There's so much going on, and like the cymbal work and the hands, really nailing the doubles and having them not be like gallopy and kind of sketchy is like that's the hardest part for me. The hands are not so bad. So yeah, that's just really been my day in this like training phase, kind of like the last 6 weeks or 7 weeks maybe. I've been home almost 2 months, and yeah, then it's just gonna be like going to Montreal and rehearsing and just practicing with the band there like for the week. But pretty
Mm,
basic, man. I don't have a lot going on. I've been trying to get some more content and film film like the stuff I've been playing and practicing. Yeah, pretty low key schedule, just trying to like stay focused, just like crush that goal, you know?
Does it take you a lot of time every day to rehearse those songs? Is it like we're talking about 2 hours a day, 3 hours, 4 hours, or I don't know, you practice till you throw up or something? How how's that for
Yeah,
you?
yeah, not that intense yet. Maybe at the rehearsals, like we'll go a little hard, but I gotta save some energy too for the show. But no, I probably on average will play 3 hours, but like not straight. You know, I'll have a session and go to my rehearsal space that's like 10 minutes for me and where I just have my kit set up. Recently, I've just been kind of like running the set to just try to simulate like a live show. I won't even like warm up that much. I'll kind of just start because I want to kind of simulate like going in, you know, cold. Sometimes, especially like at shows, I have trouble with like staying warm and like some of my old videos too, like I would play live in like a hoodie or a like a windbreaker and like it would help me stay warm, especially in a cold venue. You start a show and do changeover, and especially if like you're loading your own stuff and whatever, like by the time it's time to start playing from when you're like on a pad backstage and then actually starting, I feel like I usually lose the warm-ups. I'll just like
Hmm.
show up to my space and I'll play a little bit and then I'll just start the set, kind of do like one run through. It's not too long, the songs are short. Then recently I've just been doing like burnout kind of like double strokes of just like endurance stuff, slower doubles of like syncopated training, kind of try to get the power up. I've been like recording recently and just doing like going all out and like just improvising, but just pushing like the endurance and just playing like really
Hmm.
fast runs and kind of just jamming, you know what I mean? But just trying to get like the endurance back up. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I never had like a super crazy like disciplined routine of like sitting down with a click and doing all these exercises. Like I just trying to play a lot and like just play the song. So it's been pretty basic, pretty straightforward.
You were talking about the slower tempos. What is the slowest tempo for the doubles that you do?
When I'm practicing, I've been doing like 220 and like 200. I'll put a click on and I'll play doubles with other stuff. Live, I was playing like 205 singles, but there'd be certain parts or nights if like the adrenaline's not there and I'm
Hmm.
shot and it's like, you know, after a super long day where like I'll play certain parts with the doubles at like 205, 210. Singles, I feel like they kind of suffered when I started playing really fast stuff and I kind of just rely on doubles for like most things. When I've been practicing recently, I put the click on at like 200 and then just do it slow without a click too. It's probably like 180, 190 I'll do just to really like feel each stroke
Hmm.
and the power, you know.
Thing that I understood right now that you even the guys who are really really good at double strokes, at double bass in general, sometimes they have their moments when they are like you were saying that sometimes you're shot, sometimes you are struggling with it. Even with the Beneath the Massacre set, you were saying that you just have to clear them up. After so many years of playing it, 14, 15 years ago, you were doing doubles and you are still doing doubles. And there are still things that you would have to work on, right?
For
Which is
sure,
crazy.
yeah. I'm like nowhere near close to, you know, perfect or where I'd like to be. I think with every like technique, even just singles of like blasting, and there's always like another tier I feel like to achieve of tightness. And then, you know, with a single stroke blast, like getting the separation really clean. But like something as simple, like really just blast beats too, are literally just singles. And like, I feel like, yeah, I've been playing doubles for a long time, but like I went through a lot of phases where I kind of had to relearn them because I used to play with my heels like really far up the pedal and like really
Hmm.
rolling it. And then I kind of switched to more of like the pressure doubles with the heel behind the like the hinge point, you know what I mean? And that helped me
Hmm.
like play faster, but I think it's always like it's a never-ending process, you know, just like improving on stuff and I always, you know, there's always room to improve, basically, you know?
No, that will be the proof to a lot of people also who say that doubles are cheating. Well, not. Again, it's not. It's just the same It's technique.
The average person might see, and it's a really like common thing, will see your legs are like they're not seeing, it doesn't look like you're playing that fast, and they just see like your leg moving up and down, and they'll be like, he's not playing like that fast. Like even like non-drummers on videos or viral like things. It's funny to see because yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's just a technique. And my drum teacher, like growing up, when like in my early years, always just kind of taught me technique is like a tool, you know, to utilize, and there's different tools you use in different scenarios. And I cannot play fast singles. Like I cannot play 240 singles. You know what I mean? Like I was never good at playing like really fast, clean singles, and I cannot get like swivel down. I really haven't put the time into it like I have on, you know, doubles because I just relied on that technique and it helped me get the job done. And I think it is like singles are like I see some drummers ripping singles and I think it's so sick, man. Like I wish I could do it. And I think there's some scenarios where I think it's cooler or it's better, but I think it's a very nuanced like, you know, topic. It's not like a black or white, you know, this is better, you know, oh, he's playing doubles. It's not, you know, you're playing like I've like a lot of drummers playing slow doubles too. I feel like if you're playing it and it sounds good at a front of house and you're getting like a strong thing and you're playing tight, like I don't think it matters at all.
As long as you're playing it, right? As long as there's no backtrack of
Yeah,
you.
can't be doing that. No, as long as you're not playing, yeah, fake kicks.
There's only like one interview of Anthony Barone on YouTube. Why is that
Yeah,
so?
I'm not sure, man. I've been living like a little bit off the grid, you know, professionally the last 6 or so years, you know, kind of so like I've been in a situation where, you know, I can't really discuss like what I'm doing. You know, maybe that has partly to do with it, but I think you know, I'm not super well known, or I'm certainly not famous, you know what I mean? Like maybe, you know, into this underground kind of scene with the metal drumming, like I'm even surprised like it's cool like you hit me up to speak, man. I think like that's awesome. Like, you know, so having the chance to speak and yeah, but I haven't done really any like real interviews. Maybe I did the podcast, you know, like that with Matt from Cryptopsy. I can't think of anything else I've done really, so this is kind of one of the first, you know, real chances to like speak, you know,
Yeah.
my story and everything. Yeah. So I appreciate it,
Yeah.
man.
Thank you, man. Because that's kind of the easiest thing for me when there's not so many interviews of the person, so you can ask whatever the fuck you want to ask, right? Because with other drummers, for example, when they had like 20, 30, 40 interviews, you have to tell the same fucking story over and over again. And that's the challenge for me because like what can I ask the guy? Like because he already told everybody everything and he would have to repeat the same story over and over fucking again. But with you, hopefully I'm not gonna bomb. Oh yeah,
Nah, don't worry,
hopefully
not
yeah
at
it's
all.
gonna
Nah. Nah, it's
hopefully
been
it's gonna be
really great, man. Yeah,
yeah.
doing an awesome job. It's cool. You
Yeah.
got a little bit of like a blank canvas here with me, so
Yeah, and that's
we can get into it and it's good. Yeah.
if you are okay to talk about your humble beginnings. Your first instrument was the flute, right? At school, something like right?
Yeah, did I say that
That
in that podcast? I don't even
yeah,
remember
you did.
that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. You said it was the flute. Were you assigned it? Like, were you
Yeah,
given it, or?
I think it was kind of an accident. I think we had to like pick from a wall or like a photo. I don't even remember. I think I was maybe in like second grade, or I thought it was like a clarinet, and then we kind of like showed up to class, and I was like, oh, I didn't really know. I mean, I was so young, I didn't know any better, but like, you know, I think it's just a funny story because like, of course, kids were making fun of me. And like, you know, it was like kind of fucking weird, or it's not something, not that I think there's anything wrong with that. Like
Hmm.
an instrument is an instrument and music is music, but you know,
But kids are kids.
yeah,
Kids are kids. They're like they could be stupid honest when it's not needed.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I played it, and it's just funny because it's like the contrast of that, like from what I do now, is so like I got so in this like extreme metal, like the heaviest music, the most extreme, like hectic shit. And then like thinking back to that, I think it's just funny. Yeah, I was playing flute, and then a friend of mine, there was like a new kid at my school that came in, and he was playing like the drum set in the band. And I'd never seen like there was no one playing drum in like the music class, and that was the first time I saw someone play like a full kit. And I just thought it was like so sick. Yeah, shout out to my friend like Chris McCluskey. He was like a dude I went to school with from, I don't know, fourth grade maybe, and he's playing drums now and doing some bands I think too in the city of New York. He really got me into playing drums really and inspired me. And I think that's kind of like the coolest part about music, and what I always like relate back to is just being inspired. Just do something, and something that you want to try, and giving it a shot, and just like following that path, you know? Then I started playing drums. I started taking drum lessons at like a local music store, and that's where I met my drum teacher, Joe Friedman. He really like shaped my whole like beginning and got me into metal, and like I used to go see his band, metal band play, but he taught me like all from the beginning, from scratch, like studying books and different genres, and like really showing me the way, and led me to like to go to Berkeley when it was time
Mm-hmm.
to go to start applying to colleges and stuff. So shout out to Joe Friedman. He's a like a really sick tattoo artist as well now. And I just played all throughout school, and middle school I was playing in the bands and everything, and I took it a lot more seriously in high school, but I had periods where I went back and forth and wasn't playing as much, but I was just making like covers and YouTube videos, and that's really how I started touring. And I actually never played a show until I went on tour. Like it's kind of weird. Never played like a local show. I just went straight on tour when I was 18 with a band called AEGAEON. It was like a deathcore band from Indiana. That's kind of where I got my start, and then one thing led to another, and it's a lot of details, a lot of stuff to get into. I guess it depends, yeah, how deep you want to go.
You pretty much gave your early career condensed story, kind of, right? That's cool. But did your teacher, did he teach you to read the music?
Yeah,
Like
I did.
you can read from the sheet like Alex Rudinger right now,
Yeah.
right? He's doing the stuff with Trivium, and he's while playing, he's reading the screen with the notes
Yeah,
and notations. How about you? Like, is it?
I've never done that in real time in a metal band. I mean, that's nuts. Like, I think that's great. I could never do that with how fast it is. Like, I don't know how it works. This iPad set up, if it's like, the speed at which it's moving, maybe it's, but like, yeah, I think that's crazy in a good way. Like, I've never done that in like a metal band, especially with stuff that's, maybe for the simpler parts, it's a little easier to read, but in real time, like that's really difficult. But I can sight read like music and drum notation. It's crazy to see him doing that like with the iPad on the kit during a show. I don't think I could do that. Yeah, but I can like read music, and I always like consider myself like a drummer before like a metal drummer, because I started out just as a drum, like I just love playing drums, you know what I mean? And I studied everything. Like I did jazz band in school, I did concert percussion and all this stuff. I did like NISMA, which is like the New York State like thing where you go in and you play for the judges, and you have to sight read and do the prepared piece and do all the stuff, and you get scored, and all the like academic side. And then I studied at Berkeley as well, which was, not, I wasn't just playing like metal. I was studying like a lot of different genres and styles, and just kind of building a foundation, like just as a drummer, but largely like publicly, or like my, perception of people probably online is like, I very much like specialize in metal drumming, you know what I mean? Like extreme drumming, and that's what I always like was the most passionate about and loved doing. And I was just making covers really like on YouTube and stuff, and I guess that's kind of where it all started. But I was just taking lessons, yeah, like for a while, just growing up, like from when I was 11 when I started playing drums.
For example, right now, if you're gonna be put in a jazz band, would you be able to pull it off with a little bit of rehearsal and stuff?
Yeah,
You have like the muscle memory and everything. Would you be able like to jam
I
with the
think I
jazz
could.
musicians?
Yeah, I think
Mm.
I definitely could. I can play like pretty basic foundational stuff, you know what I mean? But I was studying with like a jazz teacher, kind of jazz drumming and like fundamentals with a guy named Steve Lyman in New York City or
Hmm.
Brooklyn, and he's like an insane drummer, but he does a ton of stuff like experimental and but during COVID I was studying with him and I was working on jazz like a decent amount. It's so tough, man. It's hard. I don't consider myself to be good at it. I just mean I have a more traditional like academic kind of like upbringing with like studying drums, you know what I mean?
And you mentioned that you studied at Berkeley. Was it a 40-year program? Was it like a bachelor's?
Yeah, it was a 4 year program, but man, I think I left and went back like three times maybe, because I did my first year and then I started touring over the summer. I went back for a semester, then I left to tour, and I was touring, and then I went back again and I did another year, and then I was leaving to tour and like taking other opportunities, and then I finished during COVID online. I had like my last 3 semesters and I graduated finally. Like there was only so much you could do. I did some courses online when I was touring, like to complete the credits, but I think the only reason I could really graduate was because COVID. It went all online, and that's why I got my like degree. It was so hectic. I was touring, and I left, and I was playing with the band AEGAEON, and then went to Europe for the first time. Went back to school, and then I left. And after I did another year, I was playing with a night in Texas, and I was like in Australia, kind of a lot, and yeah, it was just kind of crazy string of events, just kind of back and forth, you know. As long as you like completed a semester, I think you could basically just like withdraw or not enroll in the following one, and everything carries over and with the credits or whatever, and like I could just re-enrolled for the next semester, or I took it. I think there was a certain number of years like you couldn't go more than a certain number of time, but it was like a long time. I don't remember what it was, but I had no issue like finishing. I didn't have to like repeat anything, you know. I like finished it. But yeah, it took me from when I technically graduated, I think it was 10 years from when I enrolled, which is kind of nuts. But
Wow.
yeah, I was like that close. And, you know, my family always kind of wanted me to finish or like have the degree and the typical whatever. So that's why I kind of finished during COVID online. And it was like something to help me focus on getting through the pandemic, you know?
Sorry, maybe that question could be a little stupid, but did you have to write a thesis at the end, like a paper that you had to submit, or there's what is the graduation criteria for Berkeley? Because again, me as
Yeah.
not a musician, I have no clue how it's working.
Yeah, no, not a stupid question at all. I
Uh,
think it depends on the major you do. Like, I did music business, which was like, I thought was like a little, you know, I kind of wish maybe I would have done performance, but at the time, it felt like I was really focused on what I was doing. Like, I was getting gigs playing in metal bands, and I was focused on the stuff I wanted to focus on and play. And I think a lot of the performance major was more like, being super well versed in everything, every style, playing, you know, and like that major, you had to do like a senior recital where you got other players, other students to like play in your recital, and you prepared all the songs, and then like you played a show and a final recital performance that you were graded on and judged or whatever. I don't think I did anything really. I think just all my last courses, but I didn't have to do a final thesis. I think I just finished all my courses and graduated. I mean, it was like it was whatever. I think like doing going to a music school or Berkeley was like it's like to meet and work with other musicians and network and like and really focus on your playing, and it depends like what you put into it, what you'll get out of it. But I kind of just finished it to do it. Like my dad always wanted me to graduate, you know, when I was leaving to tour, and you know, I was like, I'm gonna finish. Like, I just have to take this opportunity now. Like, I'm going on this tour. And then, you know, my dad had since passed away. So, like, I just
I'm
went
sorry.
back.
Yeah.
That's okay. I appreciate it. That's why I kind of finished during COVID. And I was like, at least I'll have it done. I don't know what's going on or how long I can't, like, perform for. So, that's really all. But it was a cool experience. Like, playing there when I first started was like, I met a lot of really cool people, a lot of good friends with people I'm still good friends with today. And that I play music with. I was like playing in like a prog band kind of the first year, and yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool, man.
Did it like open the doors for you at all?
No, I don't think it really did anything, to be honest with you. Like I don't know. It's a kind of like a whole debate about like, do you really need college or a degree to do anything?
Hmm.
And I don't think it's like, I think it's cool to have like the accolade and like I went to school and I studied and I went through all the things I had to do to, studying with a private teacher and doing like the proficiency exams and the pressure of like, you would have a course where you'd study with your teacher, and then at the end of the semester, you'd have to play like for the faculty and have the proficiency exam where you play a song and then you sight read and they call out rudiments and whatever, like all like the basic fundamentals of like being in situations under pressure, performing, just all the basic stuff of like going to school. I did it and it was cool, but yeah, I don't think too much about it. I have the degree hanging on my wall, and that's I don't think you need to go to college to study music. It was really to get a good gig playing or have like a successful career playing drums or music. I just kind of did it because like I was in high school and it was time to go to college. Like I didn't know I'm just gonna play drums and study at a music school because like that's what I wanted to do, and that's kind of it.
Since you also started talking about the YouTube channel, is it okay if we go back a little bit? So you started it. Do you remember the day when you were like, okay, I'm gonna start the YouTube channel where I'm gonna play the covers?
No, honestly, I don't remember. I remember just filming myself. I think I was using like the webcam on my Mac or something, like the most horrible audio ever.
Wow.
And like I remember just filming myself like trying to play like hard songs because it was just fun. And I wasn't like, I'm gonna start this channel. I mean, I was like 13 or 14 maybe when I can't even remember. I was like maybe like a Blood Runs Black song, or I can't even remember like the first. I remember filming myself playing like Through the Eyes of the Dead songs from like their first EP, like Bloodlust or
Mm-hmm.
something, when I was like 14 or 13 maybe. It was just part of learning and studying drums, like, like I want to be able to play this song. And I was like discovering all this music through my teacher, and I was just really inspired by it, and it was like I wanted to be like these drummers and like playing music like this. I just thought it was so sick.
I think it was the Born of Osiris, like one of the covers that was there.
Yeah, that's
And
an old one for sure. I can't even
yeah,
remember.
I remember that I like watched in my downtime. Okay, fuck it. Let me dig
Oh
deeper
man.
into Anthony Barone's YouTube career, and I
Oh,
kind of looked throughout all of them. Like there were some that I haven't watched. One of them even was this like the summer project or something like this, where you were
senior
doing
project.
it
Yeah.
senior project. You were doing it outdoors. The Born of Osiris, I remember you had like you were so freaking young, like 15, the
Yeah.
snapback. And
Yeah, always, always.
I remember that even back then there was a lot of angles and stuff, and I remember one of the angles was the bell angle when you were like
Yeah, close up
hitting
on the
it.
belt. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was so funny.
That's so
And
embarrassing, bro. Yeah.
it it's not. It's
It's
cool. I
funny.
think it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's really cool, especially and the numbers show for 15 years ago the covers that get 500,000 views. That's crazy. I think that's you were onto something. You were onto
Thanks,
something.
man. Yeah, I really appreciate it. That's so funny. Like back then, and even, doing like a multi-camera shoot, it's like you have one camera and you just set it up and just shoot the song a couple times or pre-record it, and then like, trying to do something creative or cool, and like, yeah, it wasn't like I mean, dude, I was so young. I was never like really serious about starting like a channel. I'm gonna do all this crazy production and build something. And I'm like largely been MIA from YouTube like for years, and I should have taken it more seriously, but like I really enjoyed making videos, and like at that time it was just kind of about like improving, just improving myself, and you're playing and challenging yourself, and oh, I'm gonna set this goal. I want to be able to play this song, or like I want to be able to do this cover, and learning the song and studying it, and then just kind of slowly progressing from there. And it's cool, man. Like it's such a big thing doing covers online and just learning music and studying music. Like it's just a way to appreciate music and like experience art. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I never considered I want to play in my own bands and like play, create my own stuff with artists I've worked with and everything. But like it's just cool playing, learning covers and like playing other people's songs and like studying what they've done and incorporating it into your playing and like learning from it. And that's just what I was doing when I was young, I think.
The progression of the covers that you could see from some, what is it like, from starting with Gent, then you could fucking see the Behemoth, then Beneath the Massacre. You could see the progression of those covers, how they are like going from. I'm not gonna say that Born of Osiris is easy, but still, there's like a different level of complexity. The Born of Osiris has a lot of like tempo changes and stuff, but Behemoth, for example, you have fucking 40 seconds of blast beats and then 20 seconds of double bass, which is also cool. And
Yeah.
you could tell that there was a lot of time, taken for you to just like really to learn these covers first and to release them. Well, which is, I don't know, kind of worked in the long run. So then you got the gig, as you said, you got the gigs with the channel that you got, right?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for the kind words, man.
Mm.
It's so funny. Yeah, I'm like too embarrassed. I've taken videos down before. I had really old videos like jamming with my friends doing like Despise Icon covers, and there's one like my friend was literally just like headbanging and like moshing in my basement and like standing around like he wasn't even playing. But just like stupid things like that. Some of them, I think I unlisted them, or like there's some really old videos that it's embarrassing. Like the thought of going back, I can't go back and watch those videos, man. Like it's it's too,
Hmm.
it's funny though, yeah. But that's really how I started touring and how I started like getting gigs. Really was from like the first band that hit me up was because they saw like my Behemoth cover or something.
But were there any covers that you started doing them and then you thought, okay, that shit is too difficult. I can't do that. Were there any songs like this? Can you
Yeah.
think of one on top of your head right now?
Yeah, man, there was a lot I wanted to do. Like, there's a lot of goals I set, and still things I wanted to do that I didn't really get around to doing, and I wasn't prioritizing that, like, when I was older. I fucking started learning, like, a brain drill song on guitar. I was gonna do a dual cover, and, like, maybe I'll still do it one day, but, like, that was absolutely insane. Like, I learned, like, this song by ear, like, slowing it down on guitar. And the guitar is like I think I could do it, but like I never finished it. And I did like an Animals as Leaders cover, like a dual cover, but it was like an easy song. I just never posted it, and I had to borrow my friend's 8 string, and I learned it like the riff, and it was just fucking hard, man. There's too many things like to focus on at once. Like I wanted to like play more guitar recently, and I'm always saying that. But like, fuck, it's hard. It's hard balancing everything, man. Because trying to like work on one instrument is like it's hard enough, man. Like, I wanted to do an origin song. I was gonna do Finite, and the sweeping is like crazy, but the drumming too. Yeah, like the double bass, like the doubles are really hard. Like Origin is just nuts, man. And
Yeah. Thanks to John for that.
yeah, he's like one of my biggest influences of all time. Like I fucking love Origin. And it's just so sick. Yeah.
And his style is also so cool. You could watch him play all day because he can incorporate those rudiments so well into the set. He's another level,
He makes it look
drummer.
so easy, and like some people like will see that, and like of course like the extreme of the metal drummers understand, but like sitting down and trying to play like an Origin song like from start to finish, let alone like a set, it's so fucking hard, man. Like I think some people just don't get. People who will write off like extreme, metal or death metal or outsiders or people who aren't musicians, like I was always just fascinated by that, like the part of that kind of extreme style of just like it blew my mind. And Origin's one of the bands where I saw them live and I was just standing there, seeing them at like St. Vitus, right, standing right on the edge of the stage and just being like, what the fuck is happening? Like just being absolutely face melted from like their set. Seeing that live, it's one thing like hearing a record, but like really going to see them play as a band. Yeah, that's the stuff that just like really inspired me, you know what I mean? If I'm rambling ever, like don't hesitate to like
You
pull me
no,
back to
it's
a point, but
your time. It's your talking
yeah.
time, and I appreciate your talking as opposed to just question answer, because that gives me the opportunity to just ask some follow up stuff, which is it's okay. It's
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Definitely let me know if I'm rambling, but no,
Yeah.
I appreciate
You're
it. So
good.
like
You're good.
when I started originally, like, and it's kind of relates to what you said about like the progression of like the covers and the extreme, like it was just such a cool thing, and like I think it's just the beautiful part about like music and like everything is just like discovering something and just going down that rabbit hole, or the progression. And I first started and my drum teacher showed me my first blast beat, or it was like As I Lay Dying, or he came down into my basement and put in like a CD on the speaker, and hearing like the blast beat and then the double bass, and like it was like 94 hours. It just blew my mind. How are they playing like that? And I just got so obsessed with heavy music and more extreme stuff. So then he'd bring in, oh, if you like that, check out this band. And he would like burn CDs and bring them for me. And then it got to the point where it was like, death metal. I was like really very much like a deathcore kid, all that like Sumerian core kind of those early bands, like, Veil of Maya, Bono Osiris, like The Faceless, all this stuff. And it got more and more. Here's like a CD with Origin, and then he was showing me all like the most extreme stuff, and like I just thought it was so sick wanting to like discovering that and like the levels to it, and wanting to be able to play like that and just being like passionate about it. When I was pretty young, I did my first summer of touring. It was like the second tour I ever did. It was watching Jason Westmoreland play. If you're familiar with him at all, he played for like Burning the Masses, played with a ton of bands, but like I was obsessed with that band like in high school. And then I went on tour, and the second tour I ever did, it was like Slaughter Survivors, like the runner up to Summer Slaughter voting or whatever. And Chasen was playing dual sets. I think I was like 18 or 19 years old, and he was playing dual sets for this band called Enfold Darkness and Fallujah, like two in a row. I think they were like in a row two on the bill.
That's
And like,
crazy. And
dude,
Full Darkness's music is so intense.
it was so fat. I mean, dude, the song Fallujah alone was like insane. And he was filling in for Fallujah, and he did dual sets every night. And like, he was fucking hitting so fucking hard too. Like, he was playing so fast, like for so long every night, two sets in a row. And I remember just watching that and being like, that's so fucking insane. Like, how aren't people like understand like how ridiculous that is? And like that really just inspired me, and I just wanted to become like a beast, you know what I mean? And like I wanted to be
Hmm.
able to play fast and fucking hit hard, play like really heavy stuff.
And there you
Yeah,
are, playing the heavy stuff, hitting hard.
I guess I'm doing it. Yeah, it's like kind of an addiction, I think, playing fast, man, because like I have a weird like relationship with the metal drumming, and there's so much other stuff that I want to do in my career, and like other avenues I want to explore, and like I love playing all kinds of music. And I'm gonna post more stuff, but like just grooving and like just drumming in general is such a huge world of like stuff to explore and progress on. Something about just playing fast and like blast beats and like heavy music, I think is just, it's kind of like an addicting, there's just this kind of satisfaction you get from like playing, really challenging yourself, playing hard, difficult music in that way, you know what I mean? And like the physical component and everything. I've just always been really like passionate about it, and yeah, that's all really.
Mhm. But do you think you are in your prime right now, that you are better than ever when it comes to drums?
I hope so, man. I feel like When I did the Beneath the Massacre record, when I recorded it, I think I was in pretty good shape of like playing. Like I didn't have such a hard time recording it. Usually in the studio, like you use like a roll-in pad or like a mesh head because it's like a lot easier for like the editing, and like a lot of producers do it that way with cutting out bleed and like being able to manipulate like the patterns, after the fact in MIDI or whatever. And I remember like I don't know, now that I'm going back and prepping for the set, like I was playing a lot of the newer songs that we're not playing live necessarily, but like from Fearmonger, and like I was like, fuck man, some of these parts are like, I don't know how I was like playing, I don't know how I was tracking that. Like some of them are kind of nuts, but I think everything comes and goes in phases and like preparation. But I like to think I'm at kind of my prime, that like I'm always progressing and getting better. If you really do like I look at it like a specialization phase, you know what I mean? Like if you're training or you want to bring up like a certain area in like the gym, or like if you're lifting or something, it's like, I might spend time playing for one gig, playing some different styles, or like I'm not playing 260 BPM every night at a show when I'm on tour for like another gig. But then, focusing up for a few months and really getting like the chops and the endurance back, I feel like it might take a little bit of time, but it's easier to get back on track and like prepare for something
Hmm.
like that. But I look at it like it's hard to stay like year round. If I'm not playing this way every day, then it's hard to like maintain. You know what I mean? Like I think that kind of style, it's not easy to just pull like out of nowhere.
It's like
Like
sports,
yeah, for
kind of
sure.
sports.
So it's like training, yeah, it's like an off season and like training for, preparing for, like when you start the season. And that's kind of like what I'm in right now. Is I've just been drilling that, really, the beneath stuff. I
Mhm.
hope I'm in my prime, man. I don't know. I think I definitely get more injured like these days, like just like overuse and stuff like from touring a lot. Like I've always had problems with my shoulder or my hip or this or that. I've kind of always felt like that is just like one trade-off with like, one like the touring lifestyle, but just playing like heavy stuff. It's definitely like physical, you know what I mean? Like you have to take care of your body, and you have to do the necessary things like stretching and PT if you have like an issue, and
Playing these kind of heavy music, it's taxing. It's just taking from you. It's taking from your health. You said you had what is it, shoulders, right? Is it because of
Yeah, for a while it was my elbow and it was my right shoulder. Now it's like my left shoulder. I think a lot of it's like the overhead, repetitive, like overhead motion. If you're not really like serious about posture, which I'm not doing right now while I'm like leaning forward on my chair like this, doing the necessary things to like rehab and overuse kind of thing, then like it can get kind of flared up like on tour. I like to play hard, man. Like that's another thing I've always been like really passionate about, and what I was like inspired by was just seeing people like and drummers and like musicians just like perform, more than just the music, but just performance and like getting into it and having fun with it. And like some people might think it's cringy or think you look stupid or whatever. I think like you should just always play the way like you like, and I like headbanging and hitting hard because whenever whatever heavy breakdown, it's like I just hate seeing people like just not playing with like intensity or like
passion?
having fun, passion, yeah, being passionate about it. And like fuck man, I love like heavy music. Some of the parts like yeah, like make you want to smash like your fucking like face through a wall in like the best way possible. And like that's kind of the essence of like some of the beneath stuff, I think, of like the contrast for some of it's so extreme, and then one breakdown hits for like 8 bars, or there's smaller bursts of like slower parts that are just like it's
It's a
supposed to
payout.
be, yeah, the payout, and it's supposed to be like pummeling and just fucking heavy. You'll never catch me just playing like the heaviest fucking breakdown with just like I don't, like no hate, no shade to like people who play that way, but like I wish sometimes people like that. That's what I'm interested in. Seeing people perform and being passionate about like what you're playing. And that's the way I think people's like personalities and playing like show through in the music and in the way you perform. You know what I mean? Because anyone can listen to a CD and just be like, it sounds so sick on record and the music, but like, you know, the way you play, I think, is like so important. That individuality and like you could see everyone's style in everything. And that's what's cool about watching covers too. You know what I mean? Like seeing the way people play certain parts and like their own little style and, you know, finesse to it and whatever. But that's what gets me like fired up and passionate. You know what I mean? So.
But are you watching the covers of these songs that were, you know, written by you a lot? Or
I've seen some, yeah. A lot of people like if they tag me, hopefully I'll see it, or some people send me stuff. I've definitely seen some before, but I haven't seen a ton. Some of them are more rare. You know, the Beneath stuff is like pretty niche. It's pretty underground. Not a lot of people are like covering that on a, you know, it's a little more like and the Shadow stuff too, other bands like I was playing with A Night in Texas, like some of the
Mhm.
stuff's pretty tough, so like it's not as mainstream in the metal world. Like there's not a ton of people I feel like that were covering my songs, but I don't know. I might be maybe surprised. You said you had like a decent amount of submissions, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure. We'll see. Like I've probably seen maybe some of them.
Yeah, and you're gonna be surprised that a big chunk of them is Beneath the Massacre.
Really, I was
Yeah,
not
it's
definitely not expecting that. I thought maybe there'd be like one or two. I thought it'd be like some Shadow Intent
there
songs,
were
maybe.
Shadow ones, there were Beneath, there were a couple of All That Remains ones. But
Okay, yeah.
yeah, it's not the downside is that it's some of them are only a minute.
It's better than nothing at all.
Then
So
nothing. Yeah.
yeah, I think
Okay. Yes. Sorry.
no,
You were. It was your train of thought. I'm sorry.
no,
So
it's all good. Yeah, I think it's cool. Like people, especially with like shorter form content nowadays. I think like social media and everything is always changing, and you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a full 5 minute song cover like on YouTube. Like even if you just people make a clip for Instagram or a shorter, here's this part of a song, I still think it's cool. People should be encouraged to like post their playing and just do stuff like you enjoy. And like if you want to put a clip up or a cover, like I support, you know, people
hmm
just posting like what they enjoy doing. So
a couple things. You were mentioning the bands that you were with, which is Aegean. That band, like for me as the non-native speaker, the the spelling AEGA, it's fucking, I don't
yeah,
know how to pronounce it every time. It's just, it
Aegean,
breaks my
yeah.
Aegean.
Aegean. Yeah, no one, a lot of
Aegean.
people were just, oh, I don't know, would say it
Uh,
a random way. Yeah, I didn't know either before I started playing with them.
you toured with them a little bit, right? The YouTube videos helped you get the secure the gig with them. Were there like a lot of tours with them, or it was just a very brief moment?
It was like a couple years, I think. It wasn't a lot of tours, but it wasn't too long. I can't remember exactly. I did my first summer, like I did my freshman year at college, and then I went to Indiana and I did like two tours and I recorded like an EP with them.
hmm
So it really was like a cool summer, seeing what it's like touring and like being in a band and going on tour. And then I think I was staying in Indiana during the summer, so it was kind of like a block. And I recorded an EP with them. It was like a really cool experience, you know, being in the studio. And then we went back on tour. And then I think the following year we did a couple other like one-off tours. And the first like real tour I did was like in Europe, and we were opening for Thy Art Is Murder in 2014.
hmm
And it was like Thy Art Is Murder, Aversion's Crown, and a band called Heart of a Coward from the UK. And
Oh, with
that
Jamie
was
probably.
yeah. Do you know Jamie? Yeah,
He's such a great vocalist. They're a really amazing band. But yeah,
yeah.
anyways,
They
so
were
it was the
sick,
tour.
man. Yeah, that
hmm
was kind of a really defining moment for me. Like, first time playing in Europe and going overseas and just being a part of like a really cool tour. Thy Art, they were just ripping, and Aversion's Crown, like that band blew my fucking mind back then. And like Jaden, their drummer, is like He's one of my favorite drummers of all time, honestly, like especially in the extreme drumming scene. And like some of those songs were so fast, and like that was what really inspired me too, with like the really intricate cymbal work and like accents and the ride accents with like really fast like blast runs and just kind of like that distinct style. Yeah, it was just funny because I started playing for like an Australian kind of deathcore band in Night in Texas, like kind of from meeting their photographer, Thy Arts photographer Thomas. I think he kind of set me up or like got me friends online with Corey from a Night in Texas, and then I was like ended up playing with them. But yeah, that first tour in Europe, it kind of like shows just, you never know who you're gonna meet, or like one opportunity leads to another. And that was kind of where I got my start with AEGAEON. Yeah, it wasn't too many tours, but I had a really cool time with them, and it was like really great experience, and it's kind of like my roots.
And then there was a night in Texas. So one opportunity led to another one. Back then I was thinking, okay, the guy from America is in the Australian band, deathcore band. How are they gonna make it work? So did you
Yeah.
make it work for a little bit or no?
Yeah, we did
What?
for a couple years, man. Like, I mean, being in a band is really hard. Like, I was in a position, I feel like, where in that style of music, it's difficult, or at least at the time, might have been harder to find enough people that are available to try out, or some of the stuff was like very extreme, and like I think sometimes where I was in a position where I got a gig, it's because, you have like an opportunity to show like your skill set and like, hey, maybe this drummer can do it, or, maybe it's hard to find someone, but like, you know, this guy's playing fast and this whatever, and maybe he could do
Hmm.
it, and then you get a call and it's like, yeah, let's try to make it work. But I went to Australia. I think the first tour I did with them was in Europe. So we had played in Australia a couple times, but like we were playing in Europe a few times, and I played in Asia for the first time with them. Then I went to Australia a couple times, but I wasn't like living in Australia, you know what I mean? It was just be like, hey, there's a tour booked and we're gonna do this and make it happen. And there were a few times where I went to Australia to do a tour, and I just like chilled there for like a month and we wrote like an album, and I programmed the drums and stuff, and
Hmm.
we shot music videos or like worked on content, and then I went back home, and then we met back up for a Europe tour or went to Asia or whatever. But it was a little weird. Yeah, I just loved like being part of just like I never thought I'd be like seeing, traveling so much, or like finding my way around the world and like this place with this band from this country, or like playing in eight. Like I largely spent like a lot of the last few years like playing in Asia a lot, and like being able to, go back to Australia with other artists and stuff, and like coming full circle to like meeting all these people and friends like around the world. And for me, that was like the coolest part about like touring and playing in
Hmm.
a band.
It was the night in Texas. And then from what I remember also in the same podcast, Chris hit you up for Shadow. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I filled in for Matt. I think Matt was still with the band, and I filled in for them just for a couple weeks on Chaos and Carnage tour, I think it
Hmm.
was. And yeah, I had an awesome time, man. I really liked their band, and they were super cool dudes. And then I think Matt did another tour with them, and I was playing with a guitar player named Angel Vivaldi. And then I
Hmm.
went, and then I think Matt ended up doing Oceano. Then I played with them and like joined,
Hmm.
kind of joined. But the
But there were
timing
not
was a
so
little
many
weird.
tours, right? There were not so many tours with them. I remember that you played with them a little bit, then you officially joined, then, or I don't remember. Was it the album was recorded and then you officially joined, or have you ever officially joined the band or no? I just don't remember.
Shadow, yeah, it was I think, I mean, I was like, a member. I think a lot of situations with some bands, like especially back in the
Hmm.
day, is like, you might fill in, or if things go well, you're kind of, it might be a little bit more of like a session thing.
Hmm.
Or it kind of depends. But I didn't tour with them a lot, but I did record on their record Melancholy. That was like something we did. I think I recorded both the Beneath the Massacre record and the Shadow record like within 6 months with Christian Donaldson in Montreal. I did both those records with him, and it was an intense half a year like working on both those albums.
That's crazy. Two records. I was thinking that they were recorded at the same time you were
They were pretty
doing.
close to each other. Yeah, I think I tracked on, yeah, well, there were maybe like six, I don't know, within like half a year or something. It was like I was in Montreal twice to do the Shadow
Mhm.
thing and the Beneath thing. But
Were there any challenges recording them Melancholy?
it was
I don't know.
tough. Yeah, I think like creatively it was difficult trying to just like push the parts in the studio. And I think you can only like I'm kind of the player that like you can only prepare so much. And
Hmm.
when I show up, I'm gonna be like still trying different stuff or being like, wait, one more take, let me try like this fill, and kind of like writing like the nitty gritty of like the creative part sometimes will just happen on the spot in the studio. Yeah, there's a super long like instrumental song that was difficult for me, kind of improvising some of the fills and trying to be creative with it and like the grooves and fills, not just playing, down like,
Hmm.
it's difficult being creative sometimes in like extreme music because there's only so many things you could do with like fast parts and fills, and yeah, that was like a challenging album for sure. And some of the parts were like really were just hard to play. It definitely helped me push myself. Bryce is like killing it with that band now. Like some of those parts are crazy, like super tasty, like fills and stuff. I think that like goes really well with that kind of music, and it's not just like mechanical, it's not just like 127
Hmm.
blasts all the way, there's like some chops kind of and fills in there, and that's like what I wanted to kind of bring like to the table on like that album. And the Beneath one was a little bit, that one's more just about like it's about being a machine, you know what I mean? Like it's about like the intensity and like chaos, like you said, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be like that, and like it's about the intensity.
With Beneath the Massacre, you probably had like a different mindset. I'm gonna write the most condensed, dense, crazy record because that's the craziest record actually, the Fearmonger. Because I went back to just to compare the discography of Beneath the Massacre, and yeah, it was just a crazy ass record. I will tell you the story a little bit later about it, but yeah, just tell me like more about the recording of it. You said also there were mash heads used, so was it recorded on like E-Kit or some parts were
Thanks,
recorded
man.
on key?
Yeah, thanks for that. No, just the kick, I was using like a Roland KD 120 or like the kick pad.
Mm-hmm.
That was like pretty common. I think a lot of some bands were even recording. One of my friends' bands where they recorded shells and cymbals like separately, like for another like an older record, and like a lot of people were trying different things, and that seemed to be with like a lot of the producers that I was working with would be like, we're just gonna record on a kick pad because it's like better. It's better to like be able to edit the bleed and the hands out. It's easier to play doubles and easier to play fast on a mesh kick head. Whether it's a mesh head on an acoustic drum or it's like an actual e-kit. I think largely it was kind of like just a choice for sonically like mixing, or just the process of recording is like a little easier. And you don't have to worry as much about, I think, editing hands like with feet or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. But
Were you given the pre-pro demos? How, like, with Beneath the
for
Massacre?
we did kind of pre-pro. Chris would send me stems of the riffs and the songs, and then I programmed drums to them. And we'd have like certain ideas of like a framework of like, hey, this is like a blast part. This is like this riff. This is a breakdown, but I
Mm-hmm.
was like writing the fills and building the parts like on MIDI on the computer. And I think we jammed once in Montreal, and I visited and we jammed some of the riffs, but like the songs, some of them were different and got like maybe changed or reworked a little bit. But I think they recorded the pre-pro. Christian Donaldson was producing it, and he was doing the guitars at Chris's place. And then I think we did the drums in the studio and the vocals there as well. That was like a really hands-on. We had all the songs programmed out, and I had all the MIDI in the studio with my laptop for reference of like the parts I wrote, but like I ended up changing a lot of stuff anyway. That kind of music is so technical. I have to sit down and like break it down riff by riff and like write the parts out, you know what I mean? And like really understand each accent. The cymbal work's like really important, you know what I mean? So it was very like surgical on the computer on the MIDI, and then showing up into the studio like as prepared as possible and just executing it, but still writing like some of the fills, messing with it when I was playing, or like we'd have an idea, what about this one, or like, you know, just certain things, or like that they would
Mm-hmm.
call out, or Donaldson would help me kind of you know, mess with ideas, and that was it really.
But time-wise, did it take you a lot of time to record it? It's 35 minutes, right? 35 minutes of record, but
Yeah.
how much of your life
Ah,
was...
man, I can't remember exactly, but we might have been in the studio for like 4 or 5 days.
Oh,
I think
wow.
maybe I did like, I think I did 2 or 3 songs a day. Maybe it was like four. I can't remember exactly, but it was at least like two a day. Maybe one of the days was like three
So it's within
songs.
a week, was
Oh
recorded within a
yeah,
week, within a week. That's,
the drums were. I believe so. Yeah,
yeah,
because we just
that's,
booked the session and like, hey, let's just bang this out, and you know, like. But dude, I was like, that was so intense. That was like the most challenging thing I think I've ever done, and that really was recording that album. Really was like the pinnacle peak of my metal drumming career. My shoulder was like really messed up from doing like the gravities. It's one thing when you're practicing at home, but when you show up to record, going like as hard as you can, trying to hit every take as best as you can, hitting every gravity as loud as you can. It's like full intensity every day for, yeah, 4 or 5 days. And my
hmm
shoulder was like super, was like kind of messed up. And Elliot was literally like rubbing me down with Tiger Balm in the studio. Shoulder was fucked up. It's just intense, man. Like doing that. That was like, yeah, that was some of the most fun I've had recording for sure. And
hmm
Donaldson was like one of the sickest to ever work with. Doing the Shadow record, yeah, he was really incredible. But I had an awesome
hmm
time doing that record. Like I was just really proud of it, and I felt like that was kind of like, I don't know, it's just a big part of my identity, playing, you know, that kind of music. Being able to be a part of like a record like that, band I kind of grew up listening to, and I was doing like, yeah, the dual covers of Beneath the Massacre, and that's how like I got in touch with Elliot,
I
and
saw.
it was
Uh-huh.
just cool, yeah, because like I'm not, you know, I've largely a lot of my career has been, you know, sessions and working with different bands and kind of like, you know, working my way up and like having different experiences. Like I didn't start the band with them 20 plus years ago, you know what I mean? And I was like a fan of the band growing up and stuff. So being able to be a part of it was sick, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of scary, man. Like, I mean, I'm not, you know, even when we play the show and the prep and everything, I feel like, you know, I'm definitely not perfect. I'm not like the tightest drummer by any means, and I feel like, you know, I've got to everyone like there's imperfections live, and like you know, there's sketchy double bass. There's like I have a lot, like still a long way to go and a thing to like things to work on. So like yeah, there's always kind of that fear and anxiety of like fuck, like can I really show up and like nail this? Can I, you know, can I play this part? Can I play this song? And like Chris and Dennis, like the Bradley brothers, they were writing the craziest shit. Yeah, it was intimidating for sure. I was like, can I really do it? I think Elliot just messaged me on Facebook, or we were like chatting kind of. I think he saw the covers that I posted and was just like, yo, we should jam, or kind of just joking. And I was like, fuck, man, let's go. Like, because I think they were on kind of like a hiatus, and, you know, haven't been super active like in recent years, or maybe they weren't really touring at the time. And then, you know, I wanted to do some new music, and I think they asked me to, we should jam, or like maybe, you know, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. How it
Yeah,
happened, I guess.
that's sick. That's, and I'm happy that, you know, you just, your childhood dream kind of, you know, to be able to play with these guys came true. And I have a personal story about the Fearmonger, actually, myself. 2 weeks ago, I was just, I don't remember when I asked you to, like, when I asked you for the interview, but I remember, okay, let me fucking listen to the whole discography of Anthony Barone. Now let me start with the Fearmonger. I listened to Fearmonger back then, probably when it came out. I remember it was COVID and stuff. We went to Disney, and we went there with like my wife, daughter, but we didn't have like enough sleep there. So, and flying back, I thought, okay, let me put the Fearmonger and let me put the Brain Drill, the last record with Alex Band. Let me put one after another. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna listen to Fearmonger and then the last one by Brain Drill. So I remember I was just so shot on the plane flying. My daughter was not sleeping, and I remember like I had this lack of sleep, as I said, and then I was listening to this album, and you know when you're just so stressed and when you have lack of sleep, your brain tries to find the sleep anywhere, like the stages of sleep, like REM sleep and so on. So I remember like listening to this record and I fucking passed out, and I and I started having dreams, when there's like so much intensity there,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
and I had the dream that I was like in the Gears of War universe, you know, and I was like hiding behind the cover, and somebody was fucking shooting from the machine gun on me. You know when you have the sounds
Yeah.
and your mind is projecting
A
kind of
hundred
shit,
percent. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
and
about.
so yeah, it's just insane how dense this record is, and it's so hard to sit through. Not gonna lie,
Dude,
it's a very hard record to sit through, but I love it. You can also
that's
torture
hilarious.
people with this.
Dude,
It's
that's
it's a re-
so funny. Yeah, yeah.
it's a really intense record. Yeah.
I know
Hmm.
exactly what you're talking about with like falling in and out of sleep and hearing like the sound, like something, that you're listening to, like, manifesting in the dream of like that. That's so funny though, and like under
Hmm.
fire, under fucking gunfire in Gears of War, like it's just so funny because I'm like, yeah, I recognize how extreme it is, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I don't know. I
So
think
dense.
yeah, I just love stuff like that.
What time is it there?
Here
Five, six,
it's
seven, 8.
8 p.m. Yeah, just about
Okay.
near 8.
Okay. What's your plan after?
I'm gonna
Anything?
practice, yeah, tonight just for a little bit. I've kind of always been like a night owl or like staying up really
Hmm.
late. So recently I've been just kind of practicing like at night just to make sure, I don't know. Recently I've just been trying to base my day around like training and like making sure I like go to the gym if it's like a training day, not like, every single day, but and then prioritizing the practice at the later part of the day.
Do you go there? Do you go to the gym every day? Like
Not
every
every
single day now?
day. No, not every day. I've been like trying to take it more seriously, but I'm not going too crazy because like I'm kind of rehabbing like some kind of like stuff with my shoulder, doing kind of like PT, like physical therapy for that. So I'm trying not to like re-aggravate it, especially while I'm like playing drums a lot.
I understand you.
It's something
Yeah.
I'm like trying to prioritize though, because I think like it's really important with the like like the metal drumming and like especially for the beneath stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to stay healthy, you have to keep your joints intact and also your back as well, because I understand you fully, because I just had a bunch of bulged discs from lifting,
Oh man.
especially in my lower back. So right now, yeah, I had like MRI and stuff. So I went there and they told me, okay, you can't lift. You can't do the squats, you can't do the deadlifts, you can't do anything like this anymore. So
Yeah.
yeah, and okay, yeah, when you are in your 30s, I guess you just sometimes you have to like say goodbye to the heavy stuff, to like
Uh,
lifting a
it's,
lot.
it's
But
tough, man. Yeah.
yeah,
Did you get injured deadlifting or?
uh, it's just over time,
Yeah, yeah, I feel
and
you.
especially when you're doing the squats with not the 100% correct technique, you are gonna, even if you do it correct, it's just your back is gonna wear out. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
feel you.
can't recommend enough to everybody to do their MRIs, because you will learn a lot about yourself.
For sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, but
man.
anyways,
Sorry to hear that.
but
I hope you're all right, but no, I totally get
yeah,
it. Yeah, it's frustrating.
gonna be fine. I'll survive. I'm just gonna do swimming, I guess. But
Yeah, it's good
lifting is
exercise.
not. Yeah, lifting is not going anywhere. But anyways, but the drum set, is it here in your house? So, or
No,
you
yeah,
have to go somewhere.
yeah. I'm living in an apartment right now, so unfortunately, drums being so insanely
Loud.
loud. Yeah, I can't really set up my e-kit because I'm on like a second floor apartment too, so I haven't really tried. But I have a rehearsal space that I share with like a few other drummers. We have like three kits set up, and it's just
Mhm.
like a 24-hour space I rent from my friend. That's like 10 minutes drive. So it's real close. I just pop over there whenever and just practice for a while. It's
Good.
convenient.
Because I don't want to take much of your time, so you
Oh,
know.
no problem, man. I'm sorry for like ranting, running my mouth for so
It's all
long, man.
good.
But
I love that. Are you okay with watching your own stuff?
yeah, which like it kind of depends on the video,
I
maybe.
no, it's it's the good one. It's the Beneath the Massacre one. So because I wanna watch it with you and break down your like techniques and everything. Maybe that I will have some questions. What do you think about it?
Yeah, is it like the BTM? Is it like a clip or is it the YouTube playthrough?
It's the playthrough.
It's like pre-recorded, so like as long as people don't like care about that, it's like an official like performance
Right.
video kind of,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Because it's like multi-camera with one camera. But yeah, no, let's
Uh-huh.
do it.
Now we know it's pre-recorded, so people are not gonna fucking complain. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah. I don't care.
we
Yeah,
yeah, it's okay. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Okay, let's go.
that's the Gears of War. Yeah, man. That opening to the record is like it's hard to come into that like first fill into the gravity. Like it's just a weird part. It's just yeah, it's crazy.
With your gravity, you also kind of I noticed. I don't know if it's correct or not, but that with the shoulder thing, right? You just have to like lift it up a little bit.
Kind of
How
yeah,
does
there's
that work?
that I guess there's kind of that like elbow crank of like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
coming out here. It's a little hard to explain, but I guess like the angle that you're hitting the rim, like it needs to be a little bit in front of me and like to the
Mm-hmm.
right. Like not completely sideways, but I guess at like a 45-degree angle. And that's just kind of how I naturally do it. And there's that like forward lean with the doubles.
So yeah, you forward lean with the doubles. Uh,
Yeah.
is it recent thing or you've done it all the time?
I think it's just a kind of a habit, like I think it comes with some of the technique, at least the way I do it. Like I really need to lean in to get the body weight like down to drop like the heel as hard as I can. But
Yeah, you have the
it's
second heat, right? Yeah.
yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like a bad habit. I think it's a natural thing that happens for me just from playing the dub like with the heel, like the pressure doubles. But and also just for the gravity, like I have to lean in because that's where the power comes from, you know what I mean? Like I'm not just like pivoting with my wrist, like very light. It's like I'm like digging into it, so I feel like I
Mm,
have to get on top of it, if that makes sense at all.
interesting. Yeah, it makes sense, but it makes it more powerful,
I
right?
think that's where like the power comes from.
Your hand technique actually is interesting. Is it all? It's not all fingers, right? It's not all fingers.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
the
lot of
combination.
wrist. Yeah, it's a lot of like muscling it out, to be honest with you, like which some people would say is like not good technique, but I think that's like where the power comes from of just trying to like hit hard. And there's still like the bounce of like the fingers on the snare, at least you'll see on one of the other parts with like the finger control, but I think like when I'm playing on the hi-hat, it's not as easy to do like the rebound. And I
Hmm.
think for like the sake of the sound, I like hitting with the shoulder on the hi-hat, and it kind of just requires like just that wrist. And then the rest is like, I think it's coming from just like the back of your arm and triceps of digging into it. And there's a little fingers, but only on certain blasts is more just all bouncing. I guess it's just like wrist technique.
You probably, let me guess that thing. When it comes to double strokes on like push pull and all these kind of doubles, they wouldn't work for you because they're not powerful enough. Is that correct? Would it safe to say?
Yeah, I'll never use push pull on a blast. I'll do it in other techniques, maybe not with like a blast beat, but in terms of like the open close actual like push pull, you mean of like during like on the snare or something, I've never really done that. I think it's like the upstroke of like squeezing the stick, it's just not possible to hit as hard. So I just like
The
playing
second
it.
hit.
Yeah, I just prefer playing it full body because I can just hit it loud. I can just hit it harder. For like really, really fast stuff, I think it makes sense. It's a little more efficient, but I think it's like you can't produce as like a strong of a hit. So just for the sake of like the sound, it's not for me. Yeah.
There are like a lot of bursts. Does this break between give you any time to rest?
In a way, I think it does because it's different than just playing straight through. I don't know, old school Behemoth or like where there's no breaks, you know what I mean? And then you have to go into the fill. Even though there's those small seconds, it feels a little bit like a reset. Like did it like to go into the exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an easier way to like play fast by breaking it up. So I think in some ways it can be like a strategy as well to break up like difficult parts, even though it's still super fast. But yeah, it helps me, I think.
With the double bass.
I pull it back a little bit. You can kind of see like a little bit, I think, like the heel behind the hinge point, but I put like heel risers on the bottom of my pedals now, so I pull them back even a little bit further. I think when I played like the singles and the little bursts in this video, you can see my feet like slide up. And then when I go for the doubles, like the heel comes back a little bit.
Also, the very last question, how often do you have to change cymbals? Since you're hitting hard, how often do you have to change cymbals and heads?
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't go through heads like a whole lot, but on tour, like it's customary to just change every certain amount of shows so you get, you know, the best tones possible. But cymbals, Meinl has like some really cool models that I've been playing dark classics customs. Those have held up really well for me, so those are my go-tos. But like when I'm recording, I'll play like the Byzance and some of those ones I have here. I think it depends on the model that you're playing. Like I had some issues breaking a lot of cymbals. I found ones that work and hold up well for me. At the end of the day, I think if like you hit anything hard enough, like it can break. So you know, unfortunately, these things happen like when you're playing, and if you're bashing all your body weight into a fucking breakdown, like you know, it's gonna break eventually, and unfortunately, like that happens quite a bit. You know, for me, the go-to recently is like the Classics Custom Dark from Meinl. Like the crashes and the Chinas hold up really well.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for you know breaking it down with me. In my stories in Instagram, I announced that I'm going to be interviewing you and you're going to be checking out, breaking down everything with, you know, the covers with the drummers. So, and people send me a bunch of stuff. Thank you to those who did it. I really appreciate that. I usually announce it in the stories or in the post in my Instagram. So that's how I do it. And thank you for sharing it in your stories, Anthony. I really appreciate that. Because
thank you.
Because when you did it, even more people reached out to me and sent their stuff. How we're going to do it? We'll watch a little bit. We're not going to watch too much because we're already pushing, two something hours.
It's my bad. It's my bad.
No.
Running my mouth, yeah.
It's okay. So good. I really love it. I think people will find it interesting, you know. Again, there's not much stuff with you talking. That's going to be the first time that your face is going to be on the screen and you're going to be analyzing, breaking down the covers, which is
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you again for having me and getting. I'm surprised so many people sent covers in. That's crazy. Like I didn't realize there would be so many. And yeah, to everyone, playing and submitting, like yeah, it's an honor for me. Like it's so cool. Let's check them out.
Yeah, and another thing, to people who submitted their videos, we'll probably won't be able to watch all of them, but we will see most of them. And another thing, if we didn't watch your cover, I will send this cover to you, Anthony. You'll check it out. Everybody's going to be happy about it.
I'll make sure to watch the rest for sure.
So
Wow.
these are the covers that have been submitted. The first three have been done specifically for the interview. So people did it on a short notice within 2 weeks. The others are also cool. There's definitely some covers that you haven't seen.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So take a look. Which one would you want to watch first?
Let's watch the Beneath one. Yeah, I think I follow Trevor and have seen his videos if it's who I'm thinking of, which I'm excited to see. So yeah, let's start with that. That's crazy, man. I mean, I love the dual covers. Like I was trying to do stuff like that back in the day, like playing that, yeah, that tapping part off the bat. I mean, that's crazy, man. It sounds awesome. The snares sound great on the gravities. Just even attempting a song like that on 2 instruments is pretty fucking crazy, man. So I love it. It sounds sick.
Anything that was played differently?
It sounds spot on. I mean, it's like off the bat, that whole part's kind of just like one long gravity. So it looked and sounded spot on to me. I was kind of watching both. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It
Enjoy.
It sounds on point. Yeah. It's crazy that Trevor, right? That you made this clip.
Trevor Fitzgerald.
Trevor Fitzgerald. I think, yeah, I follow him. I know who he is, and he's crazy good. I mean, making that clip just in the last week or two or whatever, like, yeah, hats off to you, man. Like, that's so sick. Some of the drum parts were like a little different, like the fills and stuff. I don't think like covers have to be like 100% accurate. It depends from what angle you're looking at it. Like, if you want it to be note for note or like put your spin on it, I think it's totally cool too. So I would say like some of those blasts on the ride are like they're alternating, and he played it like straight. So it's like a scissor or a Euro blast, I guess you would call it. So it's like kick snare, kick snare. So that maybe I would try to play that way, but the straight blast sounded good too.
Shout out to Trevor. Let's do another one.
Let's check out Melancholy.
I liked his swivel in these mid tempos. He's changed from, I don't know if it was the full leg motion or the calves, but he changed to swivel. What about you in these mid tempos? Kind of, do you do what?
I noticed that too. Yeah, it's probably mostly like full leg. But man, there's that like weird dead zone, like Bermuda Triangle, like place of like mid-tempo double bass that is so hard to play. Like some people I think underestimate, like it's a real skill. Playing that like very clean and smooth, it sounds great. He seems like confident. He's locked in just on that opening and the groove, and it sounds good. I like the mix. Sounds like kind of raw and real. Like you could tell he's playing it live. I think it's sick. Let's see if is he gonna hit those blasts when they come in, or
you're gonna be surprised a little bit. Ooh. Oh, he stopped in the cool part. Yeah.
Oh, he's breaking out the doubles I see there.
Mhm.
Wow, that's sick, man. I like the energy a lot. He's vibing on it for sure. You can see he's enjoying it and he's playing with the energy. The blasts are sick, man. I don't do the crossovers there, but it sounds good. It's a little different from what I played on the record, but he was hitting like the accents on the ride, the did like the burst there, which I
Mhm.
think is sick. Definitely attention to detail. So yeah, getting that in last minute to learning that on a whim, like those are kind of cool, like high pressure situations, like on a deadline, and like it's sick, man. He
Mhm.
made it happen. So
Yeah.
yeah, great
And
job.
with the alternative blasts, did you do them or you were like fucking exhausting your right hand?
I think I played it. Yeah, I did a playthrough for that song on YouTube, and I think I played it with one hand. Maybe like there's situations live where I would do that, or maybe I might have done the crossovers sometimes in like a night in Texas, like faster stuff. But I think it's about playing like the eighth notes on the hi hat, like the blast going. So when you're crossing over, you can only hit the quarter notes or whatever. So it's like a little different from what I played on the album, but it's a technique that makes it happen. So I back it.
Yeah. And he nailed it. Nailed it.
Definitely.
So overall, 10 out of 10. What do you
Awesome
think?
fucking job for sure.
Yeah. Awesome job. Okay. Drummer's name is Nicolo Castelli. I think he's from Italy. So,
Nicolo, great
yeah.
fucking job, man. He killed it. That's a hard song. So
Hmm.
good choice on the song for sure.
And the third one, right? Embracing Nocturnal Damnation. Damnation. Do you remember that one at all?
Let's go. I do. I don't think
Let's
I've
go.
seen anyone cover the song. So that's a nice choice as well. I like that.
Let's go. Anything to add, Anthony?
Damn, those fills are nasty. Playing the control on the swivel is what I noticed. Like the cymbal work while playing swivel, I think like that is very difficult with the balancing and like separating your lower body from your upper. I have a hard time doing that, like with doubles especially. And yeah, that's like the snare fill kind of at the end there. Like, yeah, it was
Hmm.
tasty. No, I love the style. I don't
Yeah,
remember
Blake.
playing that like
Mhm.
exactly on the record that song as well. Yeah, I'm impressed for sure.
I also liked the cymbal work. It's also sick. I don't
Yeah,
know if you were that busy.
being able to do that over the fast double bass, like that's very difficult. So like that stuff, I don't remember like what I played on this song as well, like
Mm-hmm.
as much. Yeah, like the offbeat China on the left side too. Like that all sounded
Mm-hmm.
really good.
One foot.
Last
That
fill was really clean. Yeah, that the boxer Donaldson
mhm.
calls that on the when we're tracking
Boxer.
the boxer fill, like the splash, like the brrrr on the tom or
Hmm.
whatever. It's like, but yeah, a very interesting choice to play the kicks single foot there. I don't think I would be doing that, but I noticed he was hitting the closed hi hat while he was doing that. Maybe that's
Hmm.
why. I don't know, maybe I had like a stacker. I think I had a maybe like a stacker in that part or on that record I had. So maybe that's why he was using one foot. I would maybe play two there. It might sound a little tighter. Just
Hmm.
for the feel, like it's not like a blast beat, like doing like a kind of Nile single foot. For the groove, I would maybe do 2 feet, but if it works, it works. He played
Yeah,
it, so I
that's
think it's an
impressive.
awesome job. Yeah, for sure.
1 foot blasts are always
I can't
impressive
do
for
it,
me.
so yeah, I mean, if you can, hats
Yeah,
off to you, bro.
yeah. His Blake did amazing job. So shout out to him. Great cover. There's also Rise of the Fearmonger.
That's
Good one.
crazy, yeah. Oh, that's nasty. That's fucking crazy. The gravities sound really good and the drums sound great just on the mix, like, but That's really tight. I mean, it sounds like the album. It's really accurate. I think that's like could call that note for note. Or might as well, honestly.
Yeah,
Like the
he's
fills and everything.
one. I noticed that his gravity blast, he kind of put it with, with a thumb on it, which is
On
another,
top, kind of.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
also interesting.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Yeah, yeah. I do mine a little differently, but if it sounds good, I think the hardest thing. Well, let's watch. Yeah, a couple more seconds or finish it off.
Okay, yeah. This song,
Oh.
never ending, and it hasn't been even a minute. It hasn't been a minute.
It might be the hardest song on the album, to be honest with you, for me. Like that, this song's crazy, but he clearly I'm sorry, what's his name again?
Cole, I think Cole.
Cole did a crazy job, and Cole, you clearly did your homework, man, because like the fills, you learned all the patterns. Like it sounds like it's note for note. Like I could tell you did the homework. So I mean, that's crazy, man. I got mad respect for anyone that I can't. I don't know if I can't play that tight. Maybe that was yeah. It's super sick, man. Mad respect. You nailed that for sure. And I commented on his video when I saw it. It definitely impressed me. So
Yeah,
great job.
And he also, from what I remember, he auditioned for Arcspire as well.
Really?
So
I
yeah,
bet that's
he
a
did.
crazy one too.
Yeah, he is just amazing job on Cole. Okay. How do you feel?
Well done,
Talk to-
man. Yeah, I'm impressed, man. I was not expecting like tracks like that to get covered too. I mean, that's
Mhm.
I'm
Okay.
I'm really stoked. It's so cool to see that. Like, wow. Mine, I would say definitely Caputo getting two in there is a little. He got the hacks. That's kind of a that's like cheating a little bit, only because Caputo filled in for me on All That Remains. So
So we're not watching Caputo.
so the live, well, definitely I could watch it, but the live drum cam is when he actually played for All That Remains, filled in for me when I went to Asia, where I had to step out for a couple shows. So it's a little OP because he already had the gig where he was playing for them. But well, I could definitely watch it. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
half joking. It's funny, but he's crazy.
sure he's
Yeah,
gonna.
crazy drummer, obviously.
I'm sure he's gonna appreciate your kind words, and if we won't be able to watch it, it's okay. Let's watch Mike's. He came from Office.
Yeah,
Last.
I like that. Damn, that was like really tight, man. And I'm not playing singles on that either, so you're better than me. And in terms of accuracy, that might be note for note. I mean, I don't have memorized like that the parts on that song. I haven't heard it in a while, but that sounded like exactly pretty much what I played. Like the fills and stuff sounded really accurate. And I like the fit. It's gonna get a 10 out of 10 just for the fit. So
For the fit. Yeah, I
sure.
put 10 out of 10 for the fit too.
Damn. Yeah, I recognize Mike's name from, I don't know, maybe I follow him, but I recognize his name. Like, I feel like I've seen him. It's really tight, man. I mean, I don't even know what else I could say about that. He looks and sounds like a pro to me, so I got, yeah, much respect for you, bro.
The accents in the blast beat, dum 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 dum. It was in the
Spot on.
album.
Spot on, yeah, spot on. He hit the boxer on the splash, the into the accents. Yeah, clearly got it. I always respect like people for the accuracy that really, can learn something by ear and like replicate it. It's a really good skill to have as a drummer, so he killed it. Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate your cover. Underneath the Sullen Moon, you probably watched the one from Alex Norse. Have you watched
I've
this one?
definitely seen him play. I don't know if I've seen this cover. I like the song choice, man. That's definitely a tough one. That's like Archetype
Especially the
Shadows
intro.
special one. Yeah,
Especially
for
the
sure.
intro. I remember you, what is it? Was it Summer Slaughter? Where you watched it?
Uh,
Where you like, before you put like a bunch of water on
oh,
yourself, you put the hoodie on and
I
fucking
think it
started
was,
blasting.
yeah, yeah, I think it was Chaos and Carnage. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's clean.
he's clean. There's no need
And
to watch more. Just Alex, you are clean. You have nothing to prove. You're already incognitive. I
that was
think. Yeah.
pro. Yeah, I've seen him play, and he hit the alternating splash fill. I like that. Is what I noticed. That's spot
Mm,
on. So on the
okay.
toms. So great
And
job, dude. Yeah, this is a sick
great
drummer.
job, Mike. Will keep him.
Yeah, we could
Um,
check. Let's check out his shadow cover. We could do, or either one. The Divine. I've seen him play the live Divine one, obviously, but I mean, he nailed both, like note for note. I mean, he learned Mike's. I've never seen. I don't think anyone
mhm.
learn songs as fast as him.
He's the pro. So yeah, whoever needs a drummer, take the guy on tour. Yeah.
He ripped it, and he did a great job filling in for me. So. It's note for note, yeah. It's the same way I play with the doubles, but yeah, I mean, spot on. He hit the flam on the snare with the fill, and it's note for note for sure. He learns it to a T.
I like how relaxed he is with those hi-hat notes. Okay. Those Meshuggah kicks.
It's a pain playing those, yeah.
The
It's
pain.
hard. Yeah, nailing that. I think I had a hard time playing that or tracking that, but it's because I think I played the ride all the way through. I think he played a couple of just straight eighths, and I think it goes all the way through on the record. And
Mm-hmm.
the way it's like offbeat accented with the doubles is like it's like a very weird groove. Yeah, it's crazy tight. Some of in the part right before this, I've seen a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
play like the bursts on the ride. There's like a flam. It's like a flam double. I think it's called like a
Mm-hmm.
cheese or like a hybrid rudiment. It's a little hard to like hear on the record, but that's like a crazy detail that like I've seen. But he hits like you got a crazy ear. He learns stuff like note for note. I like to see him hit like a little bit harder, just to slam it a little bit harder. Have fun with it,
Hit
but
harder, Mike. God damn it.
just a little bit, because I know he's on the E kit though, so it's but it's hitting hard live and everything. So, but no, great job. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's a
Great job. What
super tight.
push, Mike? Mike, tell us. Was it a push pull? Because there's this movement.
A
It's hard
little
to
bit on the
describe.
left. I see on the left hand a little bit of the push pull. For me, I'd like to see you hit it just a little. It's a little harder to get like the power, I think, on the push pull. So it makes sense, I think, to use as like an energy conservation technique, like in the setting of like a live set or something. But I think if you can hit it harder, like that's just kind of my philosophy with the playing is like you should be hitting at like full. I go full power on those, unless it's like insanely fast and you're really bouncing to get through. Like
Mm.
Nile level, but like the kind of mid-tempo blasts, I wouldn't use push pull for that, but it works. It's a tool and a technique like we talked about. So
Yeah, and another thing is that maybe he has that intensity on it, on the first and the second hit. I'm sorry, but
yeah,
yeah,
if it sounds good, yeah, I mean the sound. If the
yeah.
sound's there, then it works.
I suggest watching the last one and the ones that I haven't showed you because we have been here 3 hours, man.
Yeah,
Three
I'm sorry
fucking
to
hours.
I'm sorry to keep
No,
you all night, bro.
it's
I'll
no.
definitely watch the other ones. You could send them to me. I'll make sure to
I
yeah.
I I'm sorry for this for keeping you that long because you don't have
No,
to watch anything. You didn't have to watch anything.
not at all, bro.
But
I
yeah,
appreciate it. I'm happy to do it. So yeah, let's check it out. I'll definitely watch the other ones. You can DM them to me and that's sick, man. I like the parts. It's not what I played on the record, like note for note. Like you're definitely
hmm
improvising around there. I think like maybe if you had the stems or like could remove the drums somehow from the album, it'd sound like you could hear some of the fills a little better. But I mean, it's sick. You're playing the song. Like I think, it depends where you want to look at it from accuracy versus whatever other kind of lens or angle, but it's sick jamming the song. I like the fills, the style and the grooves. A little different from what I played, but usually if I was gonna do a cover, like I'd want to have it a little closer to like the parts, on the album, just so it blends
hmm
like over the audio a little better. But I mean, it's sick. I like the fills, and he sounds like a great drummer. So good job.
yeah, good job, good job. We also haven't. I just noticed that we haven't talked about the All That Remains gig.
Yeah, that was
Actually,
another big one for me, like a
yeah,
milestone that I really enjoyed, like being able to record on one of their albums as like a legacy band.
way how you met them, right? How they hit you up. It was kind of like an emergency, right, situation. They were a mid tour, so they asked you to fill in for the Fall of Ideals from the anniversary tour. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, that was like a very like a spontaneous, kind of last minute thing. A really cool experience for me, kind of under pressure. Another situation where it was like, oh, like, damn, can I pull this off like in time? And it helped me grow, like having to show up and get it done. But I got a call from a tour manager on their tour, and I think they were maybe 2 weeks into their Fall of Ideals anniversary tour. And anyone that's like familiar with metalcore growing up, like that was like that's a hallmark, legacy record. Like I was listening to that. That was like a really influential record for me. And like Shannon Lucas playing on that, who you spoke with, I know, like, I mean, those parts are crazy and it's such an iconic record. So yeah, I got a call to do it. And I think I had 4 or 5 days from when they called me to like fly out, and then I think we did one rehearsal day on a day off and just jammed, and then I just like stepped in on the kit the next day on the tour and did another like almost 8 weeks maybe on the road. I think it was like a 10 week tour, and I did 2 months, and that was like my first tour out of like the pandemic, so I hadn't played live in like 2 full years, and then it was just like, can you help us out and come in and step in? And I was like, oof, like I gotta learn. Like I basically knew the record already because I was like so familiar with it, but I had to like brush up and practice and learn. And it was a crazy experience, man. I showed up and like it was one of the best tours like that I've done. It was a lot of fun.
The Shannon was also at one of the shows. He was in Virginia. He was at
Really?
one of the shows. From what I remember, I interviewed him more than a year ago, but he said that he saw you play live.
Really? I didn't know that.
Might not gonna lie, because it was another like 4 hours. We were pushing like 4 hours as well
Oh
with him,
man. So he's got the
but
the record for
yeah,
the length, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, because he hadn't had interviews for 10 years, and I really there were so many things I wanted to know. I was just eager to learn so many things, and there are still some things that I haven't, we haven't tackled. But
Yeah.
we were also watching the covers and stuff. But yeah, he said a lot of good things about you, that you are the perfect replacement. I
Really?
mean, yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that he was at the show. I would have like loved to meet him and punish him a little bit because yeah, he was like a huge like influence for me growing up and like especially with the Dahlia stuff too. But I mean, he's insane. So to hear that makes me super super stoked, man. Like thanks for that. And
Hmm.
yeah, he's a legend for sure. In the anyone who knows metal drumming knows his name. So
You recorded the record. So you were on tour, then you joined the band, and then you recorded the Anti-Fragile, from what I remember the name. I also listened to it. A very fun album, actually. How do you feel about the experience of
thanks,
with
man.
writing it?
Yeah, it was a little like the way we did it with the time frame where we did like three separate drum sessions. So that was a little tough, but we did it in like sections, and it took a while because I was touring a lot with another artist, and I think we did it in I don't even know, maybe a year, but we had like separate sessions when I was home, and we did four songs and four, and then like the rest of them and fix some things. It was an amazing experience, and like working with Josh Wilbur, who produced the record, was so sick. Just such an awesome person to record with, and like when you're tracking an album, it's such like an intense experience. Depending on the kind of player you are, like I can kind of get in my head and be a little annoying with the tracking and like, fuck, let me just get one more take. Like I can play it better or try
Hmm.
this. And, he really like worked with me to help get like the best performance out of me. And, so shout out to him for bearing with me on the tracking and stuff because I wanted to try a lot of things and awesome like recording that album and a big like milestone for me was like being able to work with Jason Richardson, who I was a big fan of his playing.
Hmm.
Obviously, he's insane guitarist and just like a band I grew up listening to. So yeah, another really cool experience for sure.
Beneath the Massacre. If they hit you up for another record, which is going to be crazier than this, will you say yes?
Oh, that's a given for sure. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Like, I know, but the whole music thing's like really tough. I know, like, people go about, everyone's got their stuff going on in own lives. And I think, Chris lives in Dubai now. He's flying out for the show in Montreal. So just being able to do this show and having everything come together is like a cool opportunity for it to like all work out. So, hopefully everything goes well and like we'll see what happens. But I would love to do make some more music with BTM for sure.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
100%.
Can't wait to be, obliterated in my sleep again. Okay.
Gears of War 2 coming for you, bro. You're gonna be getting
uh,
under fire.
okay. And also, before we wrap it up, there's one thing that I know about you, which is there are like a lot of interesting facts about you that not many people know, which is your fluency in foreign languages, right? Are you fluent?
Oh, definitely not fluent. No, I wouldn't I wouldn't say that, but I was studying like Japanese pretty heavily for a while and like that's something I spent like my time off during COVID focusing on a
Mm,
lot. Definitely not fluent. You sure as hell won't catch me speaking Japanese on camera 'cause
okay. Well,
that's too embarrassing. But no, I'm just messing with you, but yeah, learning languages is so hard, man. So when I see probably I'm assuming, of course, English isn't your first language, and like
it's not.
it's incredible. Like your English is
So,
amazing. So I see so many
that's my
people.
degree. That's why I got the degree on it, which is my major is English.
Really?
But yeah, it is, and every day you learn something new. I fucking 2 days ago I didn't know what are banana peppers. I thought those are two different entities. So, but it turned out it's just like those yellow peppers. But
Wow,
yeah,
that's
you
funny.
learn something new every single day, kind of. Hmm.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of, I mean, I grew up like in school, you had to take a foreign language, and I was studying Spanish in high school and whatever, but I just never used it and forgot everything. But I feel like, I see so many other people, especially like that aren't from America, or, you know, bilingual, trilingual, speaking, like three, four languages, and like it blows my mind, man, because while I've been studying Japanese, like it's such a difficult language to learn, and I think like anything like with studying a language like really teaches you so much about like yourself and just like the discipline of like learning a language, I think is like really, it's really tough, man. So I respect people like that. I always feel so stupid for just like speaking English, being able to speak like one eighth of another language or something. Like it doesn't count. I'd like to do like in the future, like a drum clinic and something in Japan, like where you might catch me speaking a little bit or kind of explaining some stuff. So but
Do you have the vocab for that? It's because it's a very specific vocab for.
I'm gonna have to prepare, yeah, a lot for that, but it's like a long-term goal I have, and I have like a teacher, a private tutor, like that I'm really close with on Long Island, who's like helped me out a ton. She really helped motivate me, like during COVID, to like focus up and get back to touring, and
Hmm.
I wanted to like immerse myself in the language and the culture, and it was really
Hmm.
cool, man. Like I was touring in Japan and Asia a lot, and I'd like to be able to like do something like a clinic or a drum performance thing there in the future. So, but I gotta study way more to be able to speak like that. So maybe on the next
Like Marty
one, yeah.
Friedman?
Yeah, I don't know about that, yeah, but I'm definitely not going to be nearly as good as, I mean, yeah, like
You
fluent and
got this. You
living.
got this.
And
Do you
Russian
put your?
sounds like such a difficult language too to
It
learn.
is. It
That's
is.
crazy.
There are a lot of conjugations. Like in English, the verb is like I go, he goes, she goes, and that's it. But
Oh my
we
gosh.
take
Fucking
we
Suka
take the
Bliad, man. Fucking Suka.
yeah.
I was just kidding.
But
Yo, that's
no, it's
crazy.
good.
I had no idea. I didn't know that you also lived in China, that you were living in China. I saw you mention a little bit in one of your some of the other videos.
Yeah,
Or
I
do
was
you
there
speak
for.
Mandarin, like Chinese as well?
Yeah, I do.
What? Are
But
you,
I have,
bro?
like, as the person who studies languages, when you don't speak it for a while, it's a very perishable thing.
Yeah,
At our
exactly.
work we say that language is a very perishable thing. So of course, when I was living there for how many, for 4.5 years, it was good, it was okay, but right now I forgot so many, and Chinese is
Wow.
it's so intense when it comes to speaking, because they speak so fast. And I studied it at the university. It was my minor. Basically, major was
Wow.
English, minor because I live in the Far East, so we have like China across the river. So
Yeah.
you go there, and yeah, and
Dude, that's so crazy. That blows my mind, really, because when I was studying Japanese, like I know they're using Chinese characters and studying like the kanji, and like I was just picturing like Chinese trying to learn Chinese must be even harder than this. Like it's so I can't believe that you like I have so much respect for that. I think that's so sick and for
but
sure.
it's just it was such an amazing conversation. It was the record. Actually, you broke the record.
All right, I'll take it.
It's
I'll take
three,
it. Yeah, no, I'm sorry
but
for ranting and rambling, but dude, I think it's
it's
really
all good.
cool what you're doing, and for the drumming community, and like it was such a cool way to come on and like reflect on, all my years like playing drums and like the passion and just being inspired by people like growing up and just wanting to do something, and then watching
Hmm.
people submit covers who are all like look like pros already. I'm sure a lot of them are like touring professionally too by, their skill level. Being able to see that and come on and watch covers, like it just makes me happy, man. So I think it's really sick what you're doing for the
Hmm.
community, and like I really like too on your page how it's like no paid promotion. It's kind of like your thing, right? With the
Yeah,
IG. Like,
because
yeah.
fuck that. But thank you for the kind words. It was one of the best interviews I've ever had. So
Oh
thank
man,
you
that's
so
crazy.
much.
You're too
No,
kind, man. Thank you.
it's gonna be the Thanksgiving gift to all people who been following the page, who enjoy the content, who are checking out the drummers who are on MDU. It's gonna be a present. This conversation, I think they will, you know, spend their Thanksgiving, you know, not being
Man,
alone.
I
They're gonna
hope
be with
so.
us.
I hope they don't, yeah, get sick of hearing me, hearing me run my mouth for 3.5 hours
No,
is a little
you're
crazy,
good.
but no, I
You're
appreciate
good,
it, man.
brother.
Thank you again for
Okay.
having me, and thanks to
Thank
all the
you. We'll
drummers.
talk to you later.
The
Yeah,
drummers
thanks,
killed
man.
it. Yeah, shout
Let's
out to you
go.
guys. Let's go.
Bye.
Take
Bye,
care,
man.
man.
We'll talk to you later.
See you.
Bye.